Hey everyone, welcome to another video on my channel. My name is Saket, and in today's video, I am going to take 7 brokers and compare them across 6 different parameters. So even though I am using first stock, I will ensure I am not going to add any bias in this video. This will be a completely unbiased video and my personal opinion about the platform. The brokers whom we are going to compare today are going to be Dun, First Stock, Fires, Zerodha, Upstock, Sahi and Crow. And we are only going to compare the main trading platform because most of these brokers have sub trading platform, a different trading platform for options, different trading platform for equities, mutual funds and so on. So we are going to compare their main trading app. So all this is going to be done across 7 different parameters, and they are the UI and the overall dashboard and the information it provides for the user. The third thing is going to be the order placement and what all features we have in the order placement. The fourth thing is going to be about the position book. So what all options do we have in their position book? The fifth one is going to be about F&O tools. So a lot of brokers have a lot of F&O tools, but mostly we are going to see what you can do from the option chain alone, right? And the sixth one is obviously going to be the holding sections. So what information we are going to get from the holding section. So with that, let's quickly get started with our first one, which is the UI and the dashboard. So now we'll be starting off with the screen recording. Right over here I have opened Done. So before we get on to the first one, which is the UI and the dashboard design. So first I would like to tell you that I will be ranking the top 3 under each category. So if we are talking about dashboard, who are the top 3 in the dashboard for me? So all of this is my personal opinion. And also before moving on, let's also set the expectation of how I like the dashboard to be. So primarily I want dashboard to contain mostly how the market is performing, how my portfolio is performing, how my holdings is performing, so and what is the funds that is available for me. So this is my overview of the dashboard. I don't mind having other information like the market movers and also what is gaining, what is losing much more, but I want it to be in a less cluttered way. So this is my personal preference of dashboard. So let's scan through all the platforms and see how the different platforms are built. So one thing what we notice across all these platforms is the top section is more or less similar. So UI or UX wise, it is going to be more or less similar, where mostly everybody is going to have this portfolio positions, orders and funds on their top section. But we are mostly going to speak about how it is presented. So first when we take a look at Done, right? So Done, if you take a look at it, starts with what is in my portfolio: stocks, mutual funds, ETF, small case. So this is a good thing. So as we come down, so they also have, okay, where do you want to invest, equities, mutual funds, ETFs. So they are basically giving you all the options available. And again, as you come down, it says the trending now on Done, which is basically the trending stocks, most traded stocks, what on MTF, key indices and IPOs which are running in the market, and trading tools on Done. So overall, if you take a look at it, so it does have the information which I would be looking at, but the only thing is I feel it's little cluttered. I feel it could have been more spacious, better presentation could have been there, because compared to other brokers, I feel overall the dashboard looks little cluttered and wouldn't be definitely on my top of the list. This is a dashboard which is heavy on information, so filled with lot of information, but I feel it lacks the simplicity. Next, going on to First Stock's dashboard. So when you come to the First Stock dashboard, again, right over here, you have the indices and you have a quick overview of how the market is performing, similar to what you have on Done. So on Done, you had the indices right over here. And as you come down, you are going to have a quick glance of your portfolio performance, funds available to trade, sector allocation, and positions. So this, again, I feel has all the necessary information available, good use of white spaces, and it is more freely, looks slightly more premium overall. So I do like the look of it, first glance of it. Maybe some more information such as market movers and trending stocks could be provided in the bottom. So that will complete the dashboard, where it is also going to give us more information about the market. But one thing is, which I honestly like about it, is it has a clear picture of how the market is performing, how different indices are performing, and also a quick glance of the performance. So Next, when we go to Fires as such does not have a dashboard, but what do they have is the market section. So here it has list of all the indices and all the features available. For me, this as a dashboard doesn't really stand out because it doesn't show what exactly I need, even though the margin is available, different indices are available. So overall, if you take a look at it, I would like to see a much better overview of my total funds used, a much better overview of how the market is performing, a much better overview of how my holdings are performing. This on the dashboard segment for me doesn't really stand out so much. Even on the UI perspective, it doesn't feel very premium. So the premium feature is not there. And also on the other hand, I feel from the dashboard segment, it doesn't also provide the required information. I know this is not the dashboard, this is the market segment, right? So in the market segment, I would have preferred rather seeing the chart on the right and the indices on the left. But here what ends up happening is they have their products on the right and indices on the left. So more preference is given to the product segment rather than the index segment. So in the markets, I would have mostly like to see that. Next, coming to Zerodha. So Zerodha, if you take a look at it, again has one of the top and the cleanest dashboards available. Very straight to the point. On the left, we have the market watch. Top, we have the market. So what is the margin available to trade, which is one of the most important. And again, how the holdings are performing, again, something really important. And as you go down, you have your positions and the market overview and the positions. So this more or less provides everything we need. But what I would have preferred on Zerodha is a better looking chart for Nifty at least. So I really like the chart on First Stock or how it is available. So this is a pretty good representation of what is happening to market. But again, if I were to say, this is the most clean and simplest dashboard available. Again, similar to First Stock, it lacks the market movers, top gainers, or something similar to that. So this could have been an add-on information, but again, it adds more clutter to the UI. So for me, like, and for most of the traders, so this undoubtedly stands to be the top UI, right? Because of the pure simplicity. So next, going to Upstock. So they don't really have a dashboard per se, but what they actually have is charts. There are list of stocks or indices you can have, and you can also open the charts for different things. So this is a dashboard which I feel is fairly okay. So this overall, if you take a look at it, uh, isn't really a dashboard, it's essentially chart, but in the bottom you are also having good overview about your day's P&L holdings, how exactly they are performing and so on. So overall it is good, but I feel they could have upgraded the dashboard and made it look more presentable. So this is my preference, but I genuinely like it because whatever we need starting from funds available is here, and your orders, positions, holdings all available in a single place with a good overview of what is happening to the markets and also the charts. So to me, Upstocks definitely looks good. So even though they have tried to slightly differentiate rather than making it as a dashboard as a whole, but I think it more or less serves the purpose. So it's doesn't feel difficult to navigate, difficult to understand what's happening on the screen. Next, we have Sahi. So when you take a look at Sahi, Sahi is not really built for investing in stocks or trading stocks. So it's mostly built with an idea of trading options. So the entire thing of watch list coming onto the right is slightly counterintuitive because as traders you will be usually set to see the watch list on the left. But suddenly when it comes to the right, it slightly becomes counterintuitive. And apart from that, they don't really have any dashboard sort of a thing. Um, so if you are trading options, maybe it's good. But if I were to look at it as an all-in-one app, so definitely I feel there are a lot of improvements to do because overall it is not giving me the kind of overview I was expecting. So here there'll be chart of Nifty, and that too only one index is available at a time where I have to change Nifty to Sensex and so on. Again, the purpose of Sahi itself is totally different. So we might not be able to really compare Sahi with all other brokers in this particular segment. So the last one is Grow. So in Grow also we have a different terminal. So we also have a 915 terminal for active trading of options. Right now we are going to look at the main platform. And in the main platform, one thing what we can see is the good market overview. So we can see what is the most bought stocks on Grow, market movers, and so most traded on ETFs. Many options are available. So you can also have a quick glance of the investment. But today, since I don't have any investment in Grow, it is not available. So if you take a look at it, I feel the information available on Done and Grow is more or less the same. But I feel Grow has much more white spaces, well balanced out, a much cleaner and a better UI any day. So my preference here, on a simple dashboard perspective, again, so it has all the information available but in a much cleaner and a better way. So that way I again do like the UI of Grow, at least the dashboard of Grow. So it has the information available, so it also has our total investment. Maybe one thing it is lacking is the positions. So again, Grow is mostly meant for investors, so that's the reason it is also lacking the position book right over here. So apart from that, it also has other products, tools, everything presented in a much better way. So now coming to the point of rating based on UI and dashboard experience, right? So we had already set things clear what we would be looking at. So one, we would be looking at a cleaner UI. The second thing what we would be looking at is good information about the markets, good information about holdings, positions, and much more. So going by all of that, so my first choice of UI is definitely going to be Zerodha. My second choice of UI is definitely going to be First Talk. So they provide the same information, cluttered free way, and good use of spacing, right? So it doesn't feel very cramped up, and text is big. So compared to Zerodha, if you take a look at it, the texts are bigger, more cleaner on the eyes. So this would be my second preference. So my third preference would be Upstocks. So I would have definitely gone with Grow, but Grow doesn't do two of the things which I want a dashboard to do. One is give a quick overview of how the market is performing. So I do see Nifty, but one thing which I actually don't get to see is basically how Nifty is doing throughout the day. Second thing is I would always prefer having my watch list on the left side. So all these terminals, if you take a look at it, have the watch list on the left where I can track stocks and also track this particular thing. So that is definitely lacking in Grow. And finally, the third thing, which is again not a preference of Grow, but I would have liked to have, is having a good overview of my funds and the position. So that again is lacking in Grow. So for me, the top three is going to be Zerodha, First Stock, and Upstock. So again here, so fires and done is something which I personally didn't like from the UI perspective. So next one, what we are going to take a look at is the order placements. So what kind of features are available when we try to place an order? So for this, I'm going to try to place an order with a call option or a simple 26,000 call option in Nifty across all the platforms. So when I try to place the order right over here, so first thing you see trading, and then there is a normal order. So then the total number of lots. So let's say I try to place more than freeze quantity, right? So one, it says there is insufficient funds. So then there is market limit trigger. There is also a super order. Along with the order, you can also place your target, stop loss. You can set your trigger prices and much more. So then you can also take a look at the market depth right over here, which is also important, but only one depth is available. So broadly, when you take a look at it, so I do really like this entire thing because one, you can immediately enter the number of lots. So you can always set your default order type right from the settings, so you don't always have to go to settings and change it. Then you can also, it is going to auto slice. So the moment you enter, you can see that it is automatically going to slice. You don't have to select a different kind of order, right? So that is again a really good thing. So you can also choose how many number of orders you want to slice it for. So these are some of the good things, and this is where I feel okay, the overall order placement window of Done is pretty good. And one more thing is you can also pull the window out, so which is also a pretty good thing. So next, going on to first stock. So we'll try to place the same order for this. So you can click buy or sell and quickly toggle it. So here you can also view the 5 depth while placing your order. So unlike the 1 depth which was available on then. So then you can also place multiple order. Let's say I put 18,000 quantity, so it is also going to do auto slicing. So the slice is also inbuilt, and as I change to market order, I can also add the market protection. So this is one thing I think was missing on done. Maybe that feature is available to add and I might have missed out, but here one good thing is you also get to add the market protection. Apart from that, it is the regular SL and limit order, and you can click on buy, and it is also going to auto slice. And the good thing is the order window is always going to stay open. So while you are navigating across the platform also, the order window is always open, and you can hit on enter and place the order anytime. So that way it is flexible, it is big, clean, and also pretty user friendly. Where so again, not a lot of options like done is there where you can place a target and a stop loss, but it does serve the purpose. So it has all the necessary options. The order window is pretty smooth to place the order. Auto slicing is there, and overall, it does a decent job. Next, coming to fires. So let's go to the watch list. Pick the same symbol. Try to place the order. So even on fires, so the order window, uh, in my opinion, it doesn't look again very premium. All right. So I like fires as a platform in terms of tech, but the UI can definitely be much better. Right. So it doesn't look very premium. So let's see what happens if I put 18,000 quantity. Again, 18,000 quantity, it is allowed per order. Your order will be sliced into 10 orders. So that means there is auto slicing available. So you don't have to change into iceberg or some other order type to place the order. You can switch to smart, and you can also see that you can place your trailing stop loss, and there is something also called as the step difference. So these are some of the advanced features available when it comes to the order placement. So which I feel is very good. But overall, when you take a look at it, Done feels more spacious as an order window, right? And much better to place an order. Here, the fonts are quite small, and it's not pretty easy to enter and start trading. So I would prefer maybe font of first stock, or I would prefer the font of Done, where things are little spaced out, little bigger, easier to navigate. Here, I feel things are quite close by to each other, right? So apart from that, again, a good thing which I see here is the total charges for placing the trade. Complete breakdown is given. Few of them do it, they have done it, which is a very good thing. So overall, again, you can minimize your order window and keep place the order whenever you want. So it is not going to cause any obstruction. So in first stock, the order window is small, but assuming that if the order window was big, right, so then it would have come in between. But this is a really good feature where it collapses. Available in the bottom, you can pull it up when required and start placing the order. So this is something which is really good with fires. Next, coming to Zerodha. So let's try to place the same symbol again. So we have the quick order, then we have the regular order, we have the iceberg order. So in the iceberg order, again, we have, let's say I put 18,000 quantity. So it is also going to ask how many number of legs I want to slice. So again, the order placement window of Zerodha is very clean. The font is of really good size, easily visible to the eye. The color differentiation is good, but I feel iceberg order can actually be inbuilt in the regular orders, right? So when I do it 18,000 quantity, it can automatically take me to iceberg order. So when I am placing an order, maybe I would prefer keeping it simple. So even over here, one good thing they have is you can place your stop loss and target together. So that is easily available. But one thing, so something simple as market protection could have been given in the basic functionality. So it doesn't make sense to always go to advanced and then enable your market protection. So this could have been changed. So here you can again choose to keep your order window open. But the only negative part about this thing is the order window is quite big in size and it is always going to obstruct you. So I personally prefer keeping order window open. So but the since the size is big, so it is not going to be quite handy. So it's good what Fires has done of the collapsible thing. Next, coming to, let's say, upstocks. So upstocks order window again opens towards the side, quite clean. So the color usage is good, easily differentiable. So I feel Dun's usage is very light. So it doesn't the important things doesn't seem to be highlighted enough, but that they have taken care in upstock, and the same thing has been taken care even in first stock. So the colors are bright, quite easily differentiable. Again, here I can see uh, limit SL, SLM. So it also allows me to place the target and stop loss together. So you can also see the payoff chart in the order book. So while placing the order itself, you will be able to see the payoff chart, what is the probability of profit. So this might not be the most use when if you are going to punch, let's say, single leg. So you would want to analyze your positions overall, not just analyze a single leg. So it might not be quite handy for that, but overall a really good feature, I might say. So nobody has provided this, so they have done that, which is pretty good. So on top of that, you can also see the market depth. So here it is going to provide 5 depth, which is again a fairly good thing. And the moment I put 18,000 quantity, so I don't know if it is going to slice it automatically or not. I haven't used it, I haven't tried it. So I'm not sure if the slicing is going to happen or not. So because first it is asking me to add funds, only then it is going to allow me to place the order. So that's the reason. So not sure how exactly things are going to happen. But overall, if you take a look at it, so I do like the order window here. For this, I'm going to buy a smaller option in Sensex because I have not added funds in all of the account, right? So I'll add this. Let me buy this option just to see how exactly it happens. So review the order. So good that it is showing me the estimated charges for placing this order. And I can also choose to skip the screen, submit order, and it is placed. So I can go to place new order. So good thing again here is order window is open. So that is a really good thing. So one thing here is maybe there will be an option to keep the order window open, but one thing I saw is the order window was closed immediately. So which is again not going to be my personal preference. So right over here I'm going to put Sensex 88,000. So I'm going to add it to the market watch and also buy this. So at market. So now it's successfully bought and the order window is still open. And going back to done, so here again let's try to buy Sensex 88,000. Market one lot. Oh, okay. So maybe the F&O is not enabled on this account in done. So I'll not be able to place the F&O order. But maybe people who are using done can let me know how exactly it happens right over here. So with that, now we are more or less done with 5. Next, we have the scalper terminal. This is mostly meant for options. So here the order window is the most simplified one where you can quickly place. It is going to auto slice. Everything that is required is going to happen on Sahi. But again, I don't think I started with Sahi, but Sahi might be the right platform to compare with all, because what their core focus is only completely different when compared to all the other stockbrokers. Then again, Grow also comes into a segment, so it wouldn't be the right thing to compare Grow's terminal. So if I were to place on Grow's terminal, so it is better to trade option via the terminal. So it is going to give me a good overview of this thing. It is going to give me my watch list. It is going to give me my positions. It is going to give me the option chain and so on. So this would be a better place to trade Grow. So when I click on buy here, so I'm going to get the terminal. So here let me again add Sensex 88,000 call. So again, I do feel there is a slight issue with Grow. So when I put in Sensex 88,000 call, so it is not showing me the latest call option, which is 18th of December's call option, because that is what I want. It is showing me 24th December call option. It is showing me 18th December put option. In the chain, it is, or in the watch list drop down, it is not showing me 18th December call option, which is something actually to be looked at. So whenever I am searching, I would prefer getting the latest option, or the option which is closest to expiry, which is completely missing over here. So that means we have to go back to the chain, shift to Sensex. So in Sensex, let me go to 88,000 and buy this. So here you can see the payoff similar to this thing, but one thing is, it is very, very difficult for you to even place a SL order. So that SL is not an inherent thing on gross terminal, right? So you have to go to settings, then place a stop loss order, which I don't really understand why. So why it has to be this complicated, because generally whenever you're placing, as soon as you buy or sell, you want to place the SL, and adding two more unnecessary buttons to that is only going to complicate things. And personally, I didn't prefer this. So you can also see the depth, but the thing is, so while seeing the depth, you won't be able to place the SL order. Why? Because again, so this window is going to pop in the depth, and the moment I want to change it to the SL order, so it is automatically going to come on top of it. So this way, I feel this is slightly problematic, not very easy to trade. I don't think um, Grow as a whole was meant for uh, option traders, but if they are giving the option, maybe they could certainly improvise. So overall, if you take a look at it, so what are my favorites? So I did like Upstock, I did like First Stock, I did like Dun, I did like Fires. So all these four brokers I really liked. With respect to Grow, definitely lot of improvements in the order window is required. Upstock, I certainly liked it. So clean, clear, and you could see the market depth, you could see other things while placing the order. So Fires also, I liked the fact that you could collapse the window, and only issue I felt with Fires was the UI front. I felt it would have been better if things were more clear on the UI front. So that one particular thing was lacking. So as we saw, I am not sure if the option is available to keep the order window open. So in that aspect, so for the first place, so I would go with mostly Done, because of the options they have. So, one, it is also having auto iceberg. Second one, I can set the default order types whenever I want. And third, I can also go to the super order and place other things, right? So this is one thing which is going to come in handy. So I am hoping that the order window is going to remain open. So not sure if that is going to happen or not. So in the upstock also, the only thing which I felt, which I was not sure, is whether the auto slicing is going to happen or not. So if that is going to happen, then even upstock would be certainly my top order window preference. So now when it comes to order book, my first preference would be Done. So because of this super orders, and it has all the sufficient or all the necessary information available. Second preference would be Fires and Upstocks, kind of, I would say, tie for the second place. So I would have given Fires uh, more preference if it had a better UI, because it serves most of the purpose. So again, here I'm not sure whether the slicing is available or not. Next, we are going to talk about the information what we are going to get when we have to analyze any particular stock. So let's start with Done again. So I'm going to click on Bajaj Finance. So once I click on Bajaj Finance, I'm going to get a basic overview of the market depth. I'm going to get the VWAP, the real-time trades which are happening, the high, low. Then I can go to the technical aspect of it, where I'm going to get a good overview of the resistance, Fibonacci levels, 5 EMA levels, moving average, and other technical indicators. Then I can go to margin. I can see what is the margin that is for intraday MDF. In the option chain, I can see the option chain. Again, further in options, I'll be able to get the top 5 traded contracts. In the futures, I can see the actively traded futures. In the fundamentals, again, I get to see the company valuation, historical performance, and much more. So then we have the financials, where we have a clear, in-depth segregation of year-wise financials. Then we have Smart Invest. So this is, I guess, for doing SIPs. So if you overall take a look at it, I love the amount of depth Dunn has given when it comes to all the things starting from technicals to fundamentals and the amount of information it holds. So this is really, really good. Again, you can add to watch list, create baskets, so and also enter into different modes. So overall, I love the information that is available here. Next, coming to first stock. So let's go to any particular stock. So it starts with a simple overview, which also shows the depth and other information like what is the day's low, day's high range, so what are the volumes, etc. So this has a good overview of the chart where I can scroll through and see what is happening. Next, there is fundamentals. So this is going to give me a good overview of what is the market cap, stock P ratio, how the income statement has been, how the balance sheet has been, and so on. Then we have the F&O analysis, where we have the futures, synthetic futures. Then we have the rolling straddle. I think this is going to come for the index only. Then we have the put call ratio, which is really good. So all these are not just available as values, they're also available as chart for us to know how the trend has been. So then we have the open interest available right over here. So this was something which was missing in the option segment. So you can see here. So the entire open interest analysis was not available. Then we have the change in open interest. So how exactly it has changed over last 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and so on. Finally, we also have the ATM IV, which in my opinion is really important. So this we can see how the IV of the option has moved across time. So then finally, we also do have the max pain chart. So quite in depth when it comes to the F&O analysis. A lot of things have been provided. Plus you can also add alerts and add to watch list. So then another thing we have in this thing is fundamentals, F&O analysis, and the option chain. So even in the option chain, you have multiple options where you can create straddles, you can create strangles. Then they also have the one-click option where you can preset the lots, how many lots you want to trade. You can save it and start punching the orders. So one thing this lacks is basically the technical analysis. So it does not have the technical details like how Dhan has. So if you come to technicals, you have the good overview of technicals. In first talk, that particular thing is not there, but I really love their F&O analysis, very in depth, everything that is required for an F&O trader. So this is corely built for F&O trading. So everything that is required for an F&O trader is available here. So when it comes to financials, so both of them have the similar kind of data, but I like the presentation on them, which is much easier to understand because it's in a typed format compared to this particular thing, which is in graph format. Next, going to fires. So let me add a stock. Let's say I'll add this. This is trending. So here it starts with the chart, performance. Then we can go to uh, charts. Charts is taking some time to load. So then let's go to the fundamentals. In the fundamentals, it starts with the performance ratios, then P&L, and then balance sheet. So it is good, but uh, extremely detailed financials. But as a common man, I don't need so much detail unless asked for, right? So I would like to see a summary first and then maybe details. So comprehending all of this might be difficult in the first glance itself. So what screener.in provides is the exact amount of thing you would require at the first glance. Then when you want to do in-depth, you can break it down. So I really love that they're providing every single thing, but I would have really appreciated if they had provided when asked for. I would also like to see a overall summary. So next thing is F&O. So F&O again, we have the option chain in F&O where you can also do the baskets and so on. Again, I have not seen in-depth F&O tool which is available on Fast Talk. So similar to that, where you can analyze the open interest, change in open interest, rolling straddles, IV, everything in a single glance. So that is not available. Going to technicals. So here again a good one. So here I can change the time frame and This having like a meter or having like any indication is always good because it is going to show me where things are, how things are performing across time frames, going to give me a good overview of what is what. So generally, I like this technicals what they have done. So compared to the technical side on uh, done, I would say some indication like this would definitely be better. Then we have the use and the corporate details. So corporate details, again, we have the shareholding pattern, which is mostly available in fundamentals in first stock and somewhere in financials or fundamentals in done. Going to zero the. So zero the one thing which maybe I would have preferred in Zerodha is to have fundamentals within the platform and not show it as a pop-up. So here again, you can see, I can see the chart, but I can't see more details about the particular stock, like how you can do it on other platforms. So that is something which I would have definitely preferred. Everything comes as a pop-up. You can't use the entire screen while looking at it. So this is definitely not my preference. So if I were to, let's say, view some technicals, again, this comes as a pop-up. I will not be able to use the screen behind it. So everything is basically an external platform which is being powered within Zerodha, right? So this coming in as a pop-up and giving me things is not my first preference, definitely, right? Even though it has all the information, I would prefer it more integrated well in the platform. So next coming to Upstox. So as I click on Upstox, so I can click on symbol information, and here I have one, I'm able to view the chart. Then I can go to trading view. What else I can see? So I'll be able to see the market depth, supply demand zone, and then yeah, more or less I think that is all is visible on Upstox. Maybe if I go to Upstox Plus or something, so more options might be available, but I'm not sure about it or how exactly to look at other things. Okay, option chain is available separately, so I can see the option chain. Apart from that, so I don't see a lot of options on Upstocks as such, which is handing out information to me. So not something I would be really keen or fond of. So again, Sahi, as I told, might not be the best comparison because it only opens on chat and it's directly trade on chats. Now going to uh, Grow. So Grow, again, clean UI. You can purchase, you can see the overview, market depth, a quick glance of the fundamentals, quick glance of the financials, quick glance of the shareholding pattern, similar stocks, peer comparison, but lacks on the technical front. So there is nothing given on the technical front and nothing on the F&O front. F&O they might have given. Let's open the stock which has F&O like, let's say, Vodafone Idea. Okay, on the F&O segment, we have just the call put ratio and more or less done. So quite clear winner for me here is first stock. See, being an F&O trader and what you can do with their option chain. So except for the thing that they haven't given technical, I really love their F&O segment. So lot of in-depth insights. Fundamental also provides the required information, and I love their option chain. Simple with one click, you can start placing the orders. You can also create straddles and strangles in place together. So this obviously stands to me as top. Second one comes done very simply because of the amount of data or information they have provided us. So a lot of information, insightful information, actionable information. I love it. And third one is fires. Fires, I love the technical side again. So how they have the indication. So I feel on the fundamentals they could have improved charts. I personally feel improvement is required, or the basic chart, the overview chart, right? So the same thing is available on uh, First Talk also, but it has a much better chart in my opinion. So you can see the performance across time and so on. So here, with respect to the information about the stock, so I would definitely rank first stock in the first place, second done, and third fires. So one which I didn't like at all is Zerodha, where everything is a third party dependent. It pops up. You can't use the terminal while you are looking at that. So not the favorite of the choice. You can't quickly navigate. You have to click on it and change the tab and so on. So not my favorite choice, but yeah. So that is one more thing. So surprisingly, Upstock didn't have the information which I was looking for, or maybe I didn't know how to access it, or maybe it is available. Not less not sure about that. Grow is very clear with its audience set, who they are targeting, and they have only given what is required. So even I like the design of Grow, very simplistic, but again, so this would be my order of preference. So next, let's go to the position segment, what I can do with my positions. So starting off with the positions here. So unfortunately, since I have not placed the order, so this one I will have to uh, not consider done for this comparison because F and O is not activated. Maybe I will just try to buy one of the stock and just see what is available in the segment. Okay. So in the position segment, we have, okay, open positions, how much is in profit, how much is in loss. So I can do buy order, buy segment. Then here I think, oh, I will also be able to share positions, which is fantastic. And yeah, like a good overall idea. Maybe I should have placed an F&O order to get a better understanding of how things are or what more analysis I can do. So let's come to the next one, which is first talk. Let me go to position. So we have already placed the position here. So I will be getting a simple position book where product, price, and P&L. So two things which I can do here is essentially create alerts, GTT, convert position. So I can also see my P&L overview, which shows how exactly my P&L has moved over the day. So what is my P&L looking like? And next thing I can also do is the analytics. So analytics is basically going to open up something like a sensible where I will be able to view the positions, add if anything is required, or create a new position, see how the payoff is going to change, review the order, and place. So this is going to show me the this thing P and L real time, and I'm going to get a fair idea about the same. So the order also got executed. So this is the order. So I just ended up placing a random order. So nonetheless, pretty decent, I would say. So they have a quick P&L overview, which is also going to show me the M2M chart. I think it is one of the kind where the only broker right now providing the M2M chart. And the analytics is also something which I like, where you can see a complete in-depth analytics of per trade going on. Next, coming to fires, if I go to the position book, I have smart exit. I have a smart exit is fantastic when my overall P&L or target is hit or stop loss is hit, I can exit. So something really good. So when my target is reached or when my stop loss is reached, I can exit my position. I have exit all. Then I have related news, my P&L report. Okay, this is my day-wise P&L report. So nothing to do with the current running position. Then what else do I have? So I have chart, I have reverse position, which is really good. So then I have convert position and orders, trades, overview. Overall, I like the concept of adding the target and the stop loss at the MDM level, but what I would definitely have loved is to view and analyze my trades. So they might have a different terminal for that. So, but I'm just reviewing the main terminal which these companies have, right? So just a quick review of how my trades look, what is the payoff that could have certainly be given. Next, going to the position book here. So Zerodha has everything that is required, right? So like you can analyze, you can see your overall analytics, convert any position. So you can see the option chain from here. Everything is perfect, but two things I think certainly they could have done is basically instead of going and creating verified P&L link elsewhere, so they could have done something where verified P&L link could have been created on the platform. And yeah, so very clean, simplistic UI. So overall, I think position book wise, they haven't tried to do a lot. like how they have tried to give some filters here, how they have tried to show the overall P&L overview here, or how they have tried to add smart exits. They have tried to keep it as simple as possible. But unlike fires or done, they don't have a specific terminal for trading options, where I feel Zerodha can actually bring some improvement. Next, on the lines of this thing, so I feel position book wise, and I have to take a look at it. So I have DSL exit with GTT open charts, but I feel the position book as such does not give you a very good feel on stocks, right? So if you take a look at it, so maybe I would prefer a counter position to happen immediately. So while I click on it, so maybe I'm just used to it. So again, a personal choice. So I can't see the analytics of my position. They showed while placing the order, but it would have been really good if they had shown, yeah, while analyzing the trade or viewing my position book rather than placing the order. So that would have definitely helped. Then, uh, yeah, like Zerodha provides analytics where you can simply analyze your position even though it comes as a pop-up, right? And any further adjustments could not be done here, but even Upstocks does not provide anything. So I would really prefer Zerodha to do something within the platform, like how maybe First Stock has done, where you can adjust things within the platform rather than again going on to Sensible and adjusting there and coming back here. So that would be really good. So them to certainly integrate some kind of option analytical tool, and let's skip Sahi and Grow for this because they are not the right set of uh, brokers, or they are competing in a different league. So Sahi is meant for different kind of traders. So Grow is meant for different kind of traders. So we'll keep them out for now and we'll stick to these five. So in these five, my first preference again goes to First Stock for the simplicity of the position book, analytics, and the P&L overview, which is going to give me a good idea of how my P&L is moving throughout the day. And I can also create a verified link. So this same thing is available on um, Done, where I can create a verified link. I can see my positions, what is in profit, what is in loss, and then I can also reverse the position and so on. And then I also like Fires as such, which has smart exits and where I can put a overall target and stop loss. So that might also be available with Done, but I am not sure since I'm using Done for the first time. And maybe if I had done F&O trade, right? So then I might have gotten a lot more options. So I'm not very sure about that. So for this, uh, I will I know Done has a lot of options, so I will leave Done out. I will not add it because it would not be a fair comparison to trade Done with equities and remaining with F&O. With that being said, we'll keep Done out of the competition for this particular round. But apart from that, first is going to be First Stock, second is going to be Fires, and third has to be Zerodha because Upstock certainly not. So Done might have come to second or third, maybe if I had placed a F&O partner. So here, First Stock comes to me on the first, second in Fires, and third is Zerodha. So then we are going to talk about holdings. So in the holding section, if you come to Done, I don't have any holdings in Done, but overall, so I generally like the idea of how they have given filters of stock, mutual fund, ETF, small cases. So everything is available in a single glance, multi-baggers, MTFs, XIRR, everything available in a single glance, which is fantastic. So coming to First Stock, so portfolio initially shows the performance. I don't think a lot of uh, companies are showing this, how the portfolio has performed. So then you're going to get a overview of what is there in the portfolio, large cap, small cap, stock allocation. Then you're going to get the total dividend received. So this overall, in my opinion, is a very good one where you're going to get a good overview of the performance and also what is the dividend received and the portfolio allocation. You can further expand to see when it was purchased and so on, the details. Maybe that might be available with Done, but right now we don't have the exact details. When with Fires, that is the only issue. We don't have the exact idea because we don't own any positions. So now when we are talking about holdings, uh, if you take a look at it, all the applications, unfortunately, we have holdings only in 3 applications, and we can only compare 3 applications properly. So I don't know what are the things available with Done, but one thing I can see is they have a pretty good filters here. So like mutual fund, ETF, small case, everything available in a single glance. And I also like the fact the filters they have added here. So I can just overall take a look at it. I can also rent my stocks, which is the feature only available on Done, which is again fantastic. With respect to first stock, so I'm going to get a good glimpse of my portfolio performance, how it has performed today, overall what is the performance, dividend received on my portfolio. So then I'm going to get a portfolio allocation, stock allocation, then what is the holding that I have. So a quick, good overview. I can also pledge my shares and take a look at when the stocks were purchased. Next, coming to fires, again, this good overview of everything in a single place where I get stocks, mutual funds, and I can also pledge. So this is really good, but I don't know what are the options available or details available when I have holdings. With respect to Zerodha, very straightforward, very clean again, and I can analyze. But one thing which with respect to Zerodha is they have so much information. I would have really loved if the same thing opened within the application. For everything going out of the application is something which I personally don't prefer. So uh, having the same thing load within the application would have been fantastic, because the moment it takes me out of the application, the moment some pop-up comes, I will lose the track of the markets. So not that it is the most important, but definitely they can consider building it within the application. So you can see essentially whatever you have here with respect to the where exactly the amount is invested, or large cap, and so on. Similar kind even First Stock has, but it is present within the holding section where you can see everything live. So this would have been really good. So with respect to Upstock, uh, again, maybe I'm not used to this kind of UI, but I feel little more analytics about the platform could have been better. Right. So, uh, what kind of holdings I am having, or at least the division here, I can see everything together. So, unfortunately, I don't see any of it, and that's the reason I don't know. So, Upstock, both positions and holdings have not been my favorite. So again here, I have only two, but again I think here, since only First Stock and Zerodha are there, and both of them are giving similar kind of information, so this we can just call it not a competition between two. You really can't do a competition, right? But overall, I can tell improvements that might be required in both. So in First Stock, rather than having different investments, different mutual fund segment, so you can actually have consolidated this thing in everything. You can have a consolidated mutual fund holding. You can have again the small case. So that is something fantastic. So options like the filters again is really good. So options like maybe renting the stock is again going to be really good. So these things are some of the things which we can actually add on First Stock. Again, on Zerodha, as I told, I would have really loved everything to be within the platform. But analytical wise, both are really good, and I enjoy using both. So one more thing which First Stock can certainly add is the MTF in equities. Right now, they don't have MTF. So MTF can surely be added. So with that, it would be much more better and competitive for equity investors. Finally, we are going to come to the last segment, which is the option chain. So we'll try to see what kind of strategies can be created and how advanced is the option chain. So here I am going to open the advanced option chain in Done because this is the basic version in the native app. Advanced one opens outside. So let us try to analyze this, because I am an option trader. So let us try to see what all Done can provide in its option chain. So first, this is a fantastic one. So they are going to provide like the ATM IP right on top. So you're going to have a good idea. The PCR ratio. So this is also really good, where on top of the overview, you are able to see what is the IV and what is the put call ratio. How many call writers are there relative to put. So then there is also build up, which is again a great feature, I would say. So you can see where exactly the long build up is happening, where exactly the short build up is happening, long unwinding, etc. So this again, in my opinion, is actually really good, right? So having a good overview of what exactly is happening. You can also shift expiries, and once I come to the 23rd expiry, so here I have details such as theta, delta, IV, volume, OI, LTP, etc. Right? So this is what you would be getting, a general Greek plus IV and OI together. So I guess if I'm not wrong, the bars here are representing the OI. So this is basically showing the first highest OI, fifth highest OI, fourth highest OI. So even this is a fantastic representation, I must say, right? So very helpful. Again, you can customize your column, add Greeks if required, save the settings. So you can also add some more insights and save the settings. So really good option chain. So you can also start buying and selling directly from here. And if I were to create a basket, and I can also add to basket. One more thing is I can select the scripts right over here. Then I can see my strategy, buy or sell whatever is required, and see my total margin, hedge benefit, so on. And I can also execute it. So I can do it in market or limit and click on execute all. So overall, a fantastic overview of everything that is required, good option to customize, and you can also see the IV PCR ratio right on top. So I like it a lot. Very good and handy information available. Easy to create baskets and start executing it right away. So with that being said, let's move on to the next one, which is first stocks option chain. So let me go to Nifty 50, and here I'm going to go to option chain. So in the option chain, so first thing you see is this one click button, which is one click on and one click off. So where you can preset the lots, preset the product type, and you can start buying or selling. So the order will immediately start going. So which is really good. So in case if you want to do quick scalping, so you can buy here, sell here without prior confirmation. So you can set whatever is required right over here and quickly start executing the trades. So this is a really good option which is available on the platform. And then if you were to see straddle premium, strangle, you want to trade together, so the option is also available here. You can change from straddles to strangles, so it will automatically match the closest premiums. So you can see 50-50. If you were to want to sell a strangle, so you can simply hit sell. You can enter any multiple quantities you want. Even if you were to enter say 18,000 quantity, it will auto slice and send the orders. So the same thing can also be done on straddles, so which is a really nice feature available on the platform. You'll be able to directly punch straddles, strangles, or start trading with one click. But one thing this certainly misses out on is the option Greeks. So right over here, you don't get the access to all the option Greeks. As of now, they have only given delta, and you can also see the OI chart with graph. So it doesn't tell which has the highest, but you should be able to get a good idea by looking at the graph right over here. So you can also change the total number of strikes from the ATM to 30, so plus or minus 30. So this is again a good option. So here sometimes what ends up happening is you will be initially starting with strikes very far OTM. So you would always want to stick to strikes somewhere ATM. So that is a good option here where you can select 5 and only focus on strikes near to the ATM, 5 above and 5 below. So the main missing part is the overall Greeks which have been given on done, and also the customizability, the amount of things that you can add, and quick hands-on information like what is the PCR ratio, what is the IV available. So those things would have certainly helped. So creating basket, you can just enable the basket mode, add things, view the payoff chart, which is again a really good option. You can review the order and place the order. So this is something really good. One more thing you can also do here is basically you can, from the strategy section, you can also save the strategy and this is going to get saved as a market watch or item on a market watch. So this will be showing you max profit, max loss, premium receivable, Greeks of the entire thing live as in when the market is changing. So you can go down, review the prices, and if you were to punch the order, you can simply hit a place order. So this is another really good feature. Overall, if you take a look at the experience wise, I like the customizability of done. I also like how easy it is to work on first stock with respect to creating your strategies, punching orders with one click, and also creating a strategy market watch. And the final thing, what you can also do with this particular thing is basically create custom strategies based on closest to premium. So you can also select. So for example, I want to sell a call or a put option, say trading around 100 rupees, and I want to buy a put option and a call option trading around 20 rupees. So you can add the legs and you can save this strategy. So I'll name it as SSS. So whenever I apply this strategy right over here, so automatically it is going to pick the options trading around 100 rupees, pick the options trading around 20 rupees, and you will be able to see the payoff chart, how exactly it looks, max profit, max loss. You can save the strategy. So this is again a really good option where you can save it as a custom strategy on your market watch. So these are really good options. One thing it is certainly lacking is the overall customizability and tweaks. So that is where it is going to lose most of its point. Apart from that, the overall UI is also simple, fast, and it is going to give you a good idea of what you're doing. And I also like the one-click feature where you can immediately start executing the orders. So now fires again. So a good idea about all the Greeks are there. So you can see the start creating the baskets by enabling the basket mode. So you can particularly see the Greeks. You can see the straddle. So similar to what we saw on first talk, you will be able to see the combined straddle premiums. And there's also a custom option. So once we go to settings, so you can choose on put side how much you want to see, and on the call side how much do you want to see. Fantastic option. Really love this. So if you're seeing or if you're continuously trading calls, let's say market is coming down, so you want to have a good idea of what is happening on call side. So you can reduce this and you can increase this. Really good. So even these things, you can choose what you want to see, what you don't want to see, the max pain graph, the OI graph, everything is available. So you can see the max pain, India, VIX, PCR ratio, maybe IV would have also been paid. So even this option chain, I really love it. So again, similar to this thing, you can also create a basket and start executing it. Very similar to Tan's advanced option chain, I must say. So, but other information like long build up, short build up, what's given on done. So I would really like that. So generally, if you take a look at it, so looking at both the option chain, it might be my personal preference. So I feel Dunn's option chain is giving me much more clarity. Maybe it's just that I like slightly bigger fonts, which are more clear. So I feel this one is giving a much better clarity, right? So with respect to or with compared to fires. Next, going on to the option chain of Zerodha. So Zerodha, again, they have tried to simplify option chain a lot, but I feel again here they could have certainly tried to improve on things like the UI. So if I am only choosing OI, so maybe things could have been slightly bigger, slightly more spaced out, and OI could have been represented in a much better way. So here it fades in quite a lot, and so if you take a look at it, I am not able to get a good clarity on what exactly is what. So very so it's kind of faded out. So maybe they could have expanded it a little and also used the spacing out properly and maybe made the fonts slightly better. So you can clearly see the difference between this font right over here and maybe this font right over here. So this is certainly smaller, and when you see this and come to see this, so it definitely looks much smaller. So again, you can enable the basket mode, and once you do that, you can simply start adding to the basket. Very simple to add, very easily made. So this is something really good about it. And once I shift to the Greeks, so this is what again I would really appreciate Zerodha has done. So Greeks is not something which maybe you want to switch on or switch off. So this is something really good because in a general sense, at every single point in time, you might or might not want to see Greeks, right? So sometimes the good clarity on the price and the OI should be sufficient, right? If you want to directly change from option chain. So these Greeks can end up adding clutter to some extent. So OI change also absolute percentage can be shifted and whole thing can be viewed on sensible. So this is one thing which I feel Zerodha should start putting it onto their platform. So nothing wrong in going outside, but going here every time shifting back, going here every time shifting back for every single thing. That too, it's not a single platform. Fundamental, you are taken out somewhere. Options, you are taken out somewhere. For something else, mutual funds, you are taken out somewhere. So for everything, you're going to a different place, multiple tabs, so that they can definitely learn from these platforms and try to bring it onto a single place. So overall, UI, UX wise, still zero the tops, but these are the things which I feel. So you can see that most of the traders today are preferring other platforms compared to Zerodha. So maybe these are some of the things which they can simplify. This is fantastic. So no doubt about it. The required information given handy, readily available right at the bottom. So it does not obstruct your view. You can scroll up and down and always have your eye on this view. Takes up lesser space, gives the relevant information. So really good. Next, coming to the option chain on upstocks. One, you can change the expiries. Max Pain given right over here. India VIX. Then they have the OI chart. Fantastic. Future seat map. Really good. Then they have something called as the option smart list. So what is the margin required to trade? Future smart list. FIDI activity can be seen right from here. Again, really, really good. So then you can go back to the option chain and here you can add to basket. Okay, I'll name it later. So let's say sell, add to basket, add to basket. So this is one thing which I'm not liking. So now I have created the basket. Maybe I'm using Upstocks after a long time. Honestly, I'm unable to figure out where to view my basket. So I'll simply click on add basket. Now I can see go to basket. But if I am in this particular position, right? So how exactly do I go to my basket? Okay, I had to go to orders, then go to my basket. Definitely not a user experience I would love. First, if I am creating some basket on option chain, later they are asking me to go back to the orders section, then go to basket. Definitely, I couldn't have figured it out in the first go. It took me some while to figure out what to do. And let's say I click on build strategy. So there are two strategies which I built. I can add my legs, but while I'm adding my legs, I'm unable to see the Greeks. So this is a good strategy builder, but this will completely void me of all the other information like Greeks. Not a pleasant experience at all, right? So not easy to navigate, slightly difficult, and yeah. So overall, I had a lot of hopes on Upstocks because they had launched like made a lot of new improvements on their platform, but somehow it feels that uh, I don't know, doesn't feel intuitive. The entire platform doesn't feel intuitive, except for the dashboard part where everything was available in a single go. Later, when I start reviewing one by one, that is positions, holdings, option chain, everything, it didn't feel very natural. The order placement section was decent, but not my favorite. So coming to the option chain part, for me, the first winner is done. Second winner is undoubtedly fires, and third winner has to be Zerodha. And yeah, so that is my verdict on different features. And there are a lot more features which are available on some of the platforms. Some have it, some don't have it. So if you're an active user of the platform, you'll be aware of what are the latest features coming onto the platform. But here I have tried to do as much unbiased review as possible. So what I personally like, what I personally prefer. So I have tried to be as unbiased as possible. Do let me know what you think in the comments. Which one did you like the most? And what do you think about the all? So this is quite a long video. So this is completely unsponsored so that I can be totally unbiased. So that is my review. If I were to open my account, so it will certainly be Zerodha, First Stock, or Done. So, and Fires also. Yeah, so these would be my top choices. I'm pretty sure everybody will be having a Zerodha account, whoever is watching this. So right now for trading F&O, my top choices would be Done or First Stock. So I would also recommend Fires if they make some UI changes. I like Fires as a whole, but with some UI changes, they would certainly be better. So let me know what you think. What did you think of the entire long review? What would you have picked in which category? And if you feel that I should compare some other broker, do let me know. I will certainly try to do that. So I hope this video has got some insights. This video has also opened up a lot more platform. This comparison has also gotten a lot more insights on how different platforms work, what is there in what. And with that, we also come to the end of this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Please do like the video, hit the subscribe button, and see you soon in the next video. Thank you so much.